morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Cool. Hope I'm not as quiet as I.
Hello, everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Woohoo! You sound really loud today, Volcron.
Oh
Like
dear.
it's good. It's good. Like you're not using a headset or something or a different microphone.
Yeah, different mic today.
Right. Welcome everybody. Wait just a minute. Get things started while everybody joins us. While we get back on, I get back to Discord page to see everybody's notes, questions. Bunch of people joining in. It'll be interesting. It's a holiday here for the people that work in the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday, of course, and everybody here from the Townstar team that is in the U.S. is coming in generously on their day off to help communicate with everybody and share some notes and ideas. So really thankful. And then we've got Mal, who's in not in the U.S. and also Atomic. Where's Atomic? Atomic, are you here yet? I can't see you. Are you the host?
Yeah, I'm the host.
Ah, gotcha. And then Pablo is also not in the US.
Hey guys.
We've got,
Hey, good morning.
yeah, how many, two other listeners? Maybe a lot of people are just slowly trickling in. I know we just posted the link for the AMA. Could see people jump in here. I see there's already a couple of questions starting up. You know, if some of you have different Twitter names than you have in Discord, I won't recognize you, but I do see some folks I recognize. Vulture, see you there. Who else do I see that I recognize? Gosh, a lot of people have different names. Oh, Citizen X, there we go. I see you there. Okay. Tubbs, see you.
I see Moyes.
So there's Moyes. Little lock by Moyes' name. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I think it's a private account.
Private. So nobody can see it.
Mm.
Ah, okay. We're ramping up the number of people that are joining us there. Thanks, everybody. And if you have questions, we're going to be looking at both Discord Townstar discussion, as well as the Twitter account to answer people's questions. I saw a nice giant one from Rimzak. We'll make sure we get to that. But we do have an agenda and some really cool stuff to talk about today. All right, I don't know. What do you guys think? We should get started. Get the show on the road.
We can do that.
All right,
Let's do it.
take us away,
Yeah.
Farmer Michelle. Well, let me just start us off. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us on November 25th, Townstar Weekly AMA. Like always, we got some good stuff to share with you guys, and our goal overall is to share as much as we can and as openly as we can, stuff that's real. And you might say, well, what does that mean? I just want to make sure that when we share something, you know it's real because it's either about to be released or we have some real solid plans, and we'll follow through on that. So that's the whole idea behind this. And with that, Michelle, why don't you kick us off and cover just get us going.
Let's do it. We had our video with Bitbender. Was that 2 days ago now? Forget the holidays got my days all messed up. That was on Wednesday. That was awesome. I hope that everybody tuned in to watch it. There was definitely a lot of people watching, which was fun. I'm sure that we'll have another one planned. I haven't reached out to Bitbender specifically about having another one, but I do think that it's in our plans to have another one. We'll just pick up right where we left off and jump right into gasoline production, see if we can make it more of a guide instead of playing around with NFTs. Though it did seem like people really enjoyed playing around with NFTs. So we may do that in the future as well.
So what was for those who didn't make it, Michelle, what was the kind of the big context for that video? Were you just teaching them how to play or? showing him
I
stuff?
think that was the original intent, was to show him how to play, because I think it's been a really, really long time since he's played Townstar. He is a busy guy, so he doesn't get a chance to play
Okay.
games as often, which is sad.
Yeah, yeah. I caught a little bit of it. It seemed really fun. You seemed like you guys were both having fun there.
We did have fun. We definitely had a lot of fun, which is why I think we'll do another one. I'm not sure when, but I do think that we'll do another one.
It's cool.
We had some game updates to the live game this week. Our update was on Wednesday instead of Monday. The milk meta changes went in, so that's already live, so everybody can already start fully practicing for the milk meta that starts next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The rare winery NFT is now placeable inside the game, and we've got the utility in for the ornaments, which are going on sale later today. And the Guided Blade Ghost card utility is in, which should be sent out on Monday. Everyone should have them before the competition. That's the plan, at least. Sometimes things do change, but that is definitely the plan. We also fixed the bug on mobile devices, so everybody who was playing on their mobile devices and was having trouble accessing the store, that should all be fixed now. If you are still having issues, definitely reach out to us and let us know. But that should be fixed. There was also some issues with the Miranda skins not showing the boost properly, but that has been fixed as well. So it's all good. And I believe
like
that's all I've got for live updates.
Some good fixes that went in this week, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Also some dev work, which we'll be able to talk about a bit as we get to the end of the agenda today, which is pretty exciting. We did talk about the ornaments already, but there's some work that went into that. So, but let's jump forward. What's the next one? TSF or sorry, TS Godot?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, it's been a fun week actually. Some of the features going in have been really fun to play with. A lot of the work this week has gone into kind of our big systems in the back end. I know normally when I make these videos, I'm showing off like, look, we've added a dozen more buildings to the store, or we've, here's the NFTs and look how they look in game now and stuff like that. This week it's more of systems hardening and systems that are needed to support some future features. I guess we would start by just talking a bit about town saving and loading improvements. One of the recurring annoyances is every now and then a player in Townstar Live, excuse me, their town could get saved at the wrong, some of the wrong data would get saved or it wasn't saved quite correctly. My goodness, sorry. So we're trying to put a great deal of care into our town save and load on this game, and there were some improvements that went in this week on that. Let's see. The game, as you all know, one of the main things that people have been asking for a long time is the ability to let your town run when you're not connected. So a fair amount of work went into that this week. We could just call it offline play for short. And there were some design decisions around how to give you the option if you want your town to run or not. We might have covered that in last Friday's update. The buff system, I don't know if SageMaker has talked about that much, but one of the things that went in this week, should I go into that a little bit, or
Too late to leave them hanging now. I do
oh
believe
man,
we mentioned buffs in the past. It's like,
okay,
hey,
thank
what about this
goodness.
buff system? Is it a secret? Oh. Should I talk about this
Well,
big secret? No, yeah, go for it, man. Go for it.
well, it's kind of up in the air, meaning um, we have all these game design docs and all these plans and everything. Knowing that our devs wanted to set, now was the right week to set some of those base features in, some of the base
Yeah.
systems in to support buffs. So, for example, speeding your workers and your fields and your crafts up. Um, that was a little hilarious to watch as they ran around at high speed. Yeah, and then and other systems we were working on, the skinning system, that's the base system for that's in there. Probably have some examples next week, some vids. And by the way, anybody that's listening on Discord, feel free. I'm monitoring that as well if you have questions about I'm being too technical or too leaky or whatever.
Too leaky.
Yeah.
They want more.
No, creaky. Oh yeah. So one of our devs this past week, he saw how we were doing the leaderboard data, which was fine, and he had a better idea for it, and it was vastly faster and way simpler. So leaderboard querying and updating and all that is just lightning fast now. So that was awesome. The fewer lines of code we can have, the fewer bugs we'll have, like any software. Some of the main features that went in that were really cool, our daily challenge UI. You know, you've earned X of Y stars, points. Our NFT return to inventory button, some fixes on when you're going to buy something and you hit cancel, or when you're going to sell. There were various tweaks some of you might have noticed in some of the previous videos. I don't know how much pixel peeping you were doing. And different sales and money related things. So just making sure that all that is tightened up and visually displayed, you know, right when the server approves it. That's gone in. And just a real quick word about live ops. So I guess a lot of the time when we launch games, we don't always think about the support. I say we as in players. We don't always think about the support, the tools and everything that have to be there for you to have a good experience. So a lot of work went this week into the live ops support on two topics, like they have been for the past few months. The game data management, making it so much easier to update metas and things like that. And then also more tool improvements for anybody who's monitoring players' towns, looking for weird, you know, just anomalies, things like that. I'm going to be a little evasive on that, but I'll just say integrity insurance. And then, of course, all your normal stuff like banning and unbanning and all that. So yeah, it was an extremely productive week, despite some people getting on their vacation early. We got 1 million changes in, and I'm just so happy with the team as usual. It's been awesome. So
Yeah,
that's
one note there,
oh,
Voltron. Quick question. So
yeah.
one of the things that most people don't realize is that the data management tool, user account management tool, people don't often think about that when they think about we're making a game. But that has to be an app in and of itself that has a lot of it in, you know, integrity, no bugs, and all that as well, right?
Oh yeah.
It's a significant chunk of work that nobody thinks about when they're actually thinking about, hey, can you hurry up and get features done in the game?
Yeah, even to the point where when you're interacting with a player who's upset because they're like, I've only got an hour to play, and 10 minutes in, I met this bug, you know, and they get mad or whatever, rightfully, and then they're like on Discord, they're like, here's a screenshot, you know, what the heck's wrong with you people? And then we do our best to be like, okay, without harassing this person, like give us your user ID or whatever. As a first step, can we be like, can we figure out who you are and what your town is without annoying you further?
Yeah.
So even little features like searching for users sounds boring, but it's so important. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Get
you're
the
right.
right user, help them help figure out what the problem is, make adjustments, changes, all those kind of things. Yeah, so it is a significant tool. And yeah, I was part of those discussions there as we were trying to figure out how to make it work quickly and get the work done. So there's a lot of work, everybody, that Voltron and team are doing on that.
Oh, Eternal Essence has a question. With live Godot servers, how quickly are our storages going to fill? Well, what we want to build into it is a little option for you to say, I do or I don't want this town to play offline. Because sometimes you want to step away from the computer, but your town is not in a growth state. So we want to, for lack of a better term, call it a pause button. Does that answer your question, Eternal Essence? And then Vulture, any expanding on live server data tools? Live server data tools. Well, a couple weeks ago, I might have showed some of our, I might have shared this in Discord, some of the charts and graphs, the uptime, you know, monitoring, the logging. I probably didn't share any of that visually, but Vulture, does that answer your question?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure. Let's keep going, and he can post up an answer. We can go deeper into it if it comes up.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Volcron, for that update.
We're moving on to Q&A.
Do it. Let's do it.
So the first question I have here is about the light paper that we released this week, which was really exciting for everybody to see, I think. It says, I read the light paper and I'm a little confused by the TownCoin for the number of stars awarded for the competition. Is it a set number of TownCoin for the prize pool or does it change? Example, if 1 week, say first place is 1 million stars and in the next competition, first place winner is 100 million stars, would it be the same prize pool and not 100 times more reward?
What do we got here? Maybe Pablo, can you take that one?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's very dependent on the pool size and your placement in that event. Like we have I think it's in page 7. You can see it in the light paper town distribution fund breakdown. There's a specific competition town allowance, right? So that may change from event to event, but essentially we're going to say up to certain rank or leader position, you may get some of it, right? So I don't know if that answers your questions, but it's highly dependent on how many people are playing, how good are they playing, and specifically where you land in the leaderboard once the event ends.
Yeah, I'll jump in there with just a little bit of a note. I like the simple way I like to think about this is we have a pie of town coin that we're giving out each week. And we'll talk about where that pie comes from in a second, but we have a pie there. And the number of town points you earn determines the slice of that pie that you get. And it's a percentage. So if you're out there earning and you get, I don't know, 1% of all the town points awarded that week, then you get 1% of that town coin pie. That's just the simplest way to do it. Now, the pie itself comes from several sources, and rather than cover it here, I would just say go look at the white paper, the light paper there, because that has a nice chart, has nice percentages, and covers it all there. So that's I like to just kind of think about it in layman's terms. Keep it very, very simple. So go compete. The way you score and place against other players in the competition determines your slice of the town pie that you get. Hopefully that's clear to everybody. Everybody gets a pie. You're right, Citizen X. Everybody, you get a pie. You get a slice of pie. You get a slice of pie. There you go. And then someone's got looks like a picture of Aku. Yes, it's a Donald Duck in a cake, I think. So, but before we go into more questions on this, while we're all here online, what do people think about the light paper? We tried hard to make it simple, easy to read, easy to understand, keep the complexity out of the system. Did it seem good? I mean, we got some pretty fair, balanced feedback on it. Just want to make sure. Ben has a video. Just make sure that we're tracking with people's expectations there. And now's a great time to kind of share your notes. Love the light paper? Question mark. Easy to understand. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate that. You guys know, some of you listen to the AMAs. We have spent literally weeks and weeks trying to make sure we get it right, adjusting it, and then we released it early. Found out we had just forgotten one thing and maybe had a typo in there as well. So we fixed that up and released it on Monday to everybody. So Tubbs, good light paper question. What utility use cases will TownCoin have right after launch TSF? Only NFT sales, or will there be more uses for Town beginning at the beginning of TSF? Early, I think it's going to be, we're going to keep it very simple and probably do the same thing we're doing right now with NFT sales. But the way I look at it is we have so much opportunity as we get into this new code base, this new architecture. Boy, we'll just open it up for lots of cool uses there. Okay. let's go ahead and move on to the next questions, Michelle.
The next question I have here says, when does Townstar Nodes rewards go live again?
Townstar nodes. I could take that. Mal, you want to take that?
I can. I mean, the rewards itself, I understand it's once the earnings turn back on, the actual nodes will continue that process. But they do get an NFT each month if they run their node for 10 days, 6 hours in for 10 separate days. So there's still that reward that's going on. But the actual earning side will come on itself once obviously all that's turned back on.
Yeah. Hey, there's a question in there, Rimizak, to put the same question. Is your opinion, is Townstar getting adequate financial support from Gala? Asking because from the light paper, a lot of the money from Townstar is going to Gala for everything, everything. So just wondering if the team is getting their fair share. Yes, we are. So the Townstar team, I don't know if people know it, we're all employees of Gala. And so we have a very well-funded team. We mentioned that in the past. I'll just reiterate it again. A lot of support. One of the things when I joined Gala in June, people were all questioning, like, well, what's going on with the Townstar team? Is it adequately funded? How come things take so long to get stuff done? And well, you can see that in the last 6 months, what have we been doing? All of the releases on live and developing a second product in parallel that is getting pretty close to being able to be released. So yeah, we've got the support that we need now going forward as we see how all the financials roll out and how all the the town spend is kind of allocated in the as we described in the light paper. Yeah, we'll see. But I feel really confident that not only do we have the financial support, but we also have the the willpower support, the buy-in that Townstar is very, very important for the Gala ecosystem. That's a good question. Thanks for asking.
The next question I have is, why is town distribution still delayed?
Why is town? Why is this still delayed? We're just waiting for the new version. We've kind of talked about that a lot in the past, because there's just so many issues with the old Play Canvas code and cheaters, and we wanted to redo the economy. And rather than kind of redo the economy on the old Play Canvas engine and the old client authoritative code base, we just figured we'd wait and work as fast as we can to get the new version out. There is a question I see you answered in Discord. Don't really know why towns aren't always on. Because with current Townstar Live, it is client authoritative, so the code runs on your client, and if you shut your browser, the code stops running. That's just about it, right? So that's why that works that way.
Yeah, that question specifically was about the Miranda skins and how a lot of times when you reload the game, you have to like go back into your NFT skin inventory and reapply them because they unapply, and some of them don't always apply, like the ghost cards and all of that.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I missed that one. Yeah. That code base. It's that code base.
I imagine all that stuff will be looked at as we're finishing up Godot, and it will probably be a lot better once we switch over to the new code base.
I'm positive of that as we the whole code base is getting rewritten. So some of the quirks and foibles of the last code base, whether it's due to the Play Canvas engine or the client authoritative, those are just getting cleaned up. You're welcome, Boney Chill.
All right, the next question I have here says, with the redesign in Godot, will hidden doors be removed because a pathway around each building will be added? This will make orientation matter.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm understanding that question right, the answer is yes. That's already in there. I made a little vid. Michelle, you could like watch. It's like a 6-second vid. See if I'm answering this right. But yeah, there is pathing to the correct spot on the building in there already. I've definitely shared that before in AMA vids. And so, for example, if your windmill has a south-facing door, your unit is coming from the north, he will path around the building to get to that door. In fact, one of our the dev that implemented that feature went so far as to make nice footprints around it. So the path actually around the building will be a little more optimal than it was in Townstar Live. So yeah.
Wait, Dubstep, you said, "Oh no, not my ghost doors." Not sure what that means, but I
Yeah, I
can tell
haven't
you.
actually played around to see if Ghost Doors is still a thing in Godot. I can definitely jump into the staging servers and test it out and see if what everyone sees currently as Ghost Doors is still what's happening in the new game, and I will let you guys know.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in here because one of the things watching the pathfinding in Townstar Live, and some folks know my history includes a lot of real-time strategy games, and real-time strategy games pathfinding is essential. As you send your troops into battle, you don't want ant lining, or you guys call it Congo lines and that kind of thing. And one of the things that I saw with the Townstar Live code is the the unit actually had the path, the farm or whatever actually had the path into the door and into the building itself, and then path out of it. And that just seems like a little bit of an unnecessary feature, unnecessary optimization. So to keep things easier and reduce the amount of time and energy spent on pathfinding, I asked Volcron to say, just get up to the edge of the building and pop inside of it, right? Don't worry about trying to path into the door, wait for the door to open, and then have the door swing through the middle of your character and cause, graphics glitches. And just keep it as simple as possible. And having worked on, games before where characters went inside the houses, I figured that was going to be okay because going through an open doorway, watching the door open and close, that's cool, but not as important as having really simple, efficient pathfinding, especially as we're looking at larger and larger towns going forward. So hopefully that won't blow up anybody's head, that we no longer have to have the unit actually walk through the door and then pathfind around inside the house to get out, which is kind of weird.
It definitely looks a lot smoother on Godot than it does on Play Canvas. I will say that.
So good news there.
The next question I have, which I'd spent a decent amount of time answering last week, but it got asked again, is just, will the gray screen be dealt with? I think because a lot of people are still having their browsers crash. I don't know if we just want to go over it one more time and remind people that it will be better once we get over to Godot.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's. Oh, do you want to take that?
No, go for it, Paul.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just it's an aspect of your you can do it on any app that uses too much CPU or RAM. Usually it's CPU. So it sucks. It's in live. I don't like it. The reasons are mostly engine based. I don't mean to throw Play Canvas under the bus, but it's true. Just porting to Godot alone will counter a lot of that, and then better memory management and faster pathfinding and things like that in the new game in the port will alleviate 90% of those problems. So yep, already done.
Solid.
I think people are going to be so excited once we get onto Godot and they see how much smoother and how fantastic it is. They don't even know what they're in for. It's going to be so amazing.
I agree. What's next?
The next question, which is the last question that I have here, just says, what's the possibility to shorten competitions by a day? I know we've talked about varied stuff.
Everybody talks about this. We want it a day. We want a week. Big controversy is competitions without NFTs, competition where you required NFTs, all that. Maybe Pablo or Mal, you want to take this? Share your latest thinking.
I mean, we haven't set the cadence, but what we have done is I've had several meetings with Mao. He's asking me for a bunch of things to take to the engineers and say, oh, for the competitions, we want to do this, this, and that. We want to try different things. So a lot of exciting ways to change how competitions work. And one of them is having the ability to just, have a little one-off or one shot, right? Like a single day competition, even if there's another bigger competition going on. So we are keeping we're actually increasing our options, having more options to give you more and varied competition types, right? So yeah, putting in a lot of options for that they're just not possible in Play Canvas. In Gala they should be available.
Mal, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I was just going to say, just to back that up, it's really exciting to see the options that we're actually going to have, and working with Miss Sassy to get those in. It's it's really fun. I think the player base is going to be really excited. The short, because there's different reasons why people like different size competitions. So to have the ability to just do them, as mentioned, like multiple at the same time, one-offs. Fun ones, people are demanding skill ones, whatever it is, we can, at least have the option to just do it and it not be a whole massive thing for the team, this thing that's going to be done in advance with issues. And it's just nice that all that sort of just goes away. So exciting, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you raise a great point. Right now in Townstar Live, when we want to change up competitions, besides just changing meta, if we want to do it, it's code changes, release a new client, lots of stuff. And what we're trying to do is build that in. So literally, Mal wakes up one day and says, hey, I'd like to try this competition, and just go ahead and change some parameters and we can launch the competition. Don't know how soon we'll get there, but that's the goal, to make everything is just really data driven and easy for the team to do. And I know from past game experience, if you make it easier for your design team and your creative team to try out new things, the more opportunity they have to chance on some super fun, unexpected experiences for players. And that just makes everything better for everybody. Let's see, before we jump forward, why don't we see if there's any other questions in the community. Is there anything, Atomic, are we seeing anything on Twitter? Any questions there? I've just been watching Discord here.
There is one question. Let me pull it up again. From Eternal Essence on Discord. With announcement of Godot and there not being the world map, what kind of map can we expect?
Ooh, that sounds like a question for Pablo. How will that work? I know we've talked about that before, but let's go over it again.
Yeah, I answered him in Discord just like a couple minutes ago. But yeah, Mal and I went over that in the last AMA, so that should be recorded. But essentially, we are removing the world map. We want to make it fair for everybody. Now, there's a lot of people who are being left out of competitions because of sniping bots that get the good spots in the world map. So we're removing the world map and we're redesigning that system. We're going to release it in steps. And the first step is everyone gets, for a specific competition, everyone gets the same map, right? I know that there were some concerns about that, but Mal and I have gone over that, and we'll be including more and more options for personalizing that town setup for competitions as we release new versions once Gala is out. So that's kind of the plan. If you want to go over that again, there should be a recording of last week's AMA where we're going into more detail.
Cool. I'm gonna jump in real quick on a comment Will Bake had made. It's like we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, saying that everything will be better in Godot. I think Volcron answers and says, yeah, well, there'll be some issues. Always, when you launch new games, you get bugs and stuff to fix, things that the players do that's unexpected. Maybe the system not performing as well as you thought in terms of server load and those kind of things. But I think as you hear more of our team kind of expressing their excitement is because we actually have the game up and running in our staging environment. And that's one of the awesome things. We talked about this back in August. Volcron and team are doing what we call continuous integration and continuous deployment. So anybody on the team wants to jump in and see the status of the software, they go to our staging server. It's up all day, all week. People can see that. So yeah, if it sounds like maybe we're overselling, we really try not to do that. But yeah, it's just it's the game is built radically different. The Godot version is built radically different than the first version. Different engine, server architecture, large set of coders working very strong and working hard, knowing where the destination is, as opposed to Townstar, the original version, started very simple. The new features were added, and it kind of just evolved over time into sort of this multiple tentacled beast. So yeah, we have a lot of. I mean, we've got the good confidence about it, but of course we'll all see once we get the thing released. What's next, Michelle?
If we're done with live questions, I think we're jumping into leaks, if there is any, about the ghost card that's the reward for the next competition.
Leaks? I don't know. Do we have any leaks?
I'm not
We
sure.
gave somebody already.
It depends how much you pay attention in the chat, I'd say. But for those who are busy with their lives and enjoying family time for Thanksgiving and whatnot, the other day I sort of put in chat. I was a little bit unsure which ghost card because I was thinking, do we want to do one for the glass factory because there'd be a craft going in there that might have a little bit of a slower timer kind of deal, but it's not in yet, and that's kind of like people don't know yet. Or I was seeing a lot of people say that they wanted an actual barn ghost card because it was based off the milk meta, which I also agree with. That was also one of the options, so I actually put it in the chat, and it turns out unanimously everyone wanted the barn card. So I joked with Michelle. I was trying to get a gushing udders. I was trying to get the name, but apparently we've got to be serious, Sage. So I'm going to come up with a name and share that with everyone, hopefully over the weekend. But it'll be the Barn Ghost card, so that's fun.
Wait, you said we have to be serious?
Well, apparently, I was trying to joke with Farmer Michelle, saying I thought gushing udders would have been the most hilarious ghost card name because it's got to start with a G, you see. So I just it was funny.
Yeah. Boy, if I ever say we have to be serious, ask me why. There must be some reason. But let's have fun. Let's have fun. And I know you have a lot of fun ideas. Everybody in the audience, you've seen Mal with all of the ideas. I call him an idea machine. He just cranks them out faster than anybody on the team can actually execute. So let's have fun.
Yeah, but we won't use that name just so everyone knows. But yeah, it was. We have some funny conversations and there's some funny chats that do go on internally. When we're designing these things, there's a lot of fun that goes behind it.
So are we ready to move on to the next section?
Yeah, I did see one other question in Discord. Someone was asking in the future if the rewards, like the NFTs and the town and the Gala rewards, will ever not be sent to the treasure chest. I imagine we'll be switching over to Geary chain.
Yep. So it'll
Sweet.
be going into your inventory, and depending how you buy it, whether it's going to sit there if you buy it with credit card, obviously it has to sit in the account for a few days to clear the 14-day period. But we get to see how that works once we launch. And if you just want a little bit of a preview, we're going to be working just like Spider Tanks. If you guys had a chance to play that game, you'll see what it's like bringing your NFTs into the system. This is actually a great moment just to talk about, again, the perennial question. I've got a bunch of ETH-based NFTs, and you're going to launch Townstar Godot on Jiri. What happens to those ETH-based NFTs? You can still use them in the game. Now, what we've also said is that one of the reasons we're going to Jiri, one of the reasons we're rewriting the code base is to actually offer the opportunity to, level up those NFTs, right? And we won't be able to do that if it's ETH based. So that's okay if you want to keep your NFTs ETH based. But when we move over to Jiri, we'll have that opportunity. And so consider that while you're thinking about it. And the other thing that comes along with that, of course, is Volcron's Volcron's discussion is his non-leaky leak about buffs, because leveling up and buffs and all those kind of things we'll be able to do on the Jiri version very easily.
Awesome. I think that answered it very well.
Okay. Let's see. I see some things popping up about ornaments. Should we talk about ornaments?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say sale time. Everyone's been discussing the ornaments, so happy to talk about this. Go for it, Top Boy.
So wait, before you jump into the kind of the specifics and pricing and all that stuff, can you guys just share a little bit about ornaments for maybe people who aren't up to speed just? What are they? Why are they good for people? How cool are they? Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we've got the 12 enchanted ornaments of Townstar. It's the full long name, also known as ornaments. Very exciting how we're doing these. It's similar to how a Miranda skin has a individual utility pair one, only no cosmetics. So it's that kind of logic in the sense of each of the 12 cards has its own individual utility. There are 2 utility groups, and there are 6 cards in each of the two groups. There's the global wage reduction and then the global build cash construction cost reduction. That was a very long way of saying that. So basically things in the store are cheaper to buy for cash. And of course, the global wage reduction is mentioned. And then if you own all 12 of those, you get a massive temporary boost that will last until January 31st. The massive temporary boost that I'll just get the list up to make sure I say it right. So it's 50% global unit speed increase, 50% global wage reduction, 75% in-game store building cash cost reduction, and 75% reduced cost for clearing things on the map. So just to point out some things, yes, the Miranda skins stack with the global speed. The Malta NFT from Malta Gala stacks with the global wage reduction. So just to point those things out. The Haunted Mazes as well. I've seen people asking about those. Those should stack. If not, I will put that on the list. So to explain properly, you've got the 6 cards in each group. And there is an epic, 2 rares, and 3 uncommons of each 6 in each group. And they all have an individual split bonus that will stack together. So owning 6 from each group will give you the highest amount. And they are the base utility, the 20% global wage reduction and a 25% building cash cost reduction. They are the base utilities that remain permanently. 6 cards in each one, all of them stacked together, giving you the total amount of 20% and 25%. And a temporary buff lasts until January 31st. And I just want to put a disclaimer out that when the blog went out, there was an issue with it combining the temporary buffs. So if everyone who's read the blog wants to just to double check again that they now understand the correct version. It was posted properly by Michelle in the Discord post. But just so everyone knows, there was an update to the blog on the rare odds needed swapping around because there was a typo on that. And then we fixed it to show the correct temporary buff. So I just wanted to get that disclaimer out there.
So Mal, I want to jump in. You talked about some pretty insane boosts from these. How do you think that's going to affect people's play? Let's say somebody collected all 12 and just laid them all in there. What can they expect?
Well, first of all, they can enjoy the fact that they don't lose any space on the board for these 12 ornaments, which is a fantastic addition to any utility in Townstar. But the advantages are huge. You see, if anybody got to watch the live stream with Bitbender and Farmer Michelle, you will have noticed how cheap things were in the store. And when you're cash rushing or even going to your later game, you're talking a $10 million building being $2.5 million, for the highest price building. Being in a forest and being able to clear for much cheaper allows such a much more of an advantage. It means you get all the ponds at the start, more river spots and stuff like that with the forest options. The 50% global wage reduction that stacks with the Galaverse NFT, you're almost paying no wages at all. Wages are obviously a big cost factor that you have to strategize for. So, and then of course, 50% global unit speed increase. Everyone wants quicker units. So it's just a devastating combination of just all the things you need to just accelerate from start to finish and maintain that sort of high point build. It's just sort of, quicker, more efficient. You don't have to wait around as long as people joke about, are they going to, depending on the meta, are they going to sleep early on because it's an easy rush, not an easy rush, cash boosts. Because none of those are in all metas, this is just the type of boost that will get you through. So, it's a god mode, I feel like. I've seen a lot of people pointing out it is a nice ability to have and will give massive advantages in all the areas that you have to plan for when building a town, rushing towns and maintaining towns.
Yeah, I think the Extreme just posted an image there, Turbo Boost. It sounds like a good high level name for this. That sounds cool. And what was it, just to, before we move on to the pricing, what was your thinking about setting up all these booths this way? Can you give people a little bit of background in your kind of strategy and why you wanted to set this up and have these ornaments have all these special powers on them?
Yeah, so it's more the lines of what are we going to do, how do we want to do it, and what do we want to put in. So those are usually often questions we ask for most things. So once that's been established, I can't speak today, sorry, I'm very tired. Once that's been established, the idea is to run down what are we going to do utility wise. So people will notice there's a brand new utility among 6 of those cards, which is, it's always nice to bring a new utility in. How do you do it? How do you break it down? Does it take things on the board? Does it not? We were looking at the 12 Days of Christmas. We thought, there's a nice theme. After speaking with you, Sage, Musasi, everyone, we have these great group discussions. The team all comes up with nice ideas. And then I'll sort of go away then and I'll look at the utility. Is it going to be a new one? In this case, it is a new one. It's Christmas. We've got to have a new utility. It's a gift, right? So we bring in the new utility. We brought in another one that kind of exists massively on one NFT. So it's kind of like a breakdown of that. The idea being there's the collection aspect. People can pick the individual ones and decide how much they want to go, which I always like. People can sort of go to what they want. Maybe they just want the epic one. Maybe they want 2 rares. They stack together. These are important things in the logic. It's just finding the game balance, making sure that it matches and it's exciting. The idea is we want them to be really fun and people to really enjoy what we're bringing, and how we do it is, not just the same plop an NFT down. It gives all of this. So that's basically the gist. I probably ran a long way around that. I apologize.
No, I think it's great because a lot of people don't quite know all the thinking or work or strategy that goes into actually making these kind of things. So thanks for sharing that. I think there's some questions. Let's go ahead and go into the next step. Talk about the sale, but also there's some questions on sugarcane stand. So maybe we can touch those as we're finishing up talking about the ornaments.
Yeah, so in terms of the pricing, Mal, I think, touched on it a little bit. We've had a blog post go out for the uncommon pack. So obviously there's 3 packs. There's the uncommon, there's the rare, and there's the epic. Each one of them has varying odds of the ornaments you can get inside. Each one will have 4 ornaments. The uncommon pack is going to be $30. The rare pack is $50. And the epic pack is $75. Obviously, if you purchase an epic pack, the 4 ornaments you get, they are more likely to be epic. The rare ones, they're more likely to be rares. And the uncommons, they're more likely to be uncommon. There was this question that I was seeing in Discord. I think it was Cotton Cheesecake. He pointed out in the blog post that the odds for the rare are showing more a higher probability of getting common for the 3rd and 4th pull. It was actually a typo. Got that corrected. I think our writer's working on it, so the blog post is going to be updated. But for the rare pack, the odds are for the first pull 100% rare, second pull 90% rare, 10% uncommon. For the third pull, it'll be 80% rare, not uncommon, 15% uncommon and epic. And same thing with the fourth pull, 75% rare, 18% chance of an uncommon, and 7% chance of an epic. So just wanted to clear that up because I did see a little bit of confusion in Discord for that. That is pretty much it in terms of pricing.
Okay.
I know there was another question around credit cards and why people aren't going to be able to purchase in credit cards. So the short answer is when you purchase, so these gacha packs are actually different than some of the recent packs people may have purchased in the store, where the gacha itself is actually a token. So when you purchase it, it goes into your inventory as a gacha pack, and you actually have to redeem that pack for for the 4 ornaments inside. What that means is, if you were to purchase with a credit card, the gacha would be in your inventory for 14 days, and you wouldn't be able to redeem the gacha pack for your ornaments for at least 14 days. And obviously that's an issue. We want people to be able to pull and get those ornaments as soon as possible. There is a limited time for the additional buff, right? So it just didn't feel like the optimal user experience to be able to do this in credit cards. And so as an alternative for this sale specifically, we're also going to be selling in Gala. So you'll see it in stores at 1 o'clock PST. It'll be available in town and Gala. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Super excited for this sale. We've seen some warm reception on Discord. Excited about it. Lots of people debating what it's going to take to get 12 ornaments. Theoretically, you could purchase 3 packs and potentially get all 12. But it's possible you may have to purchase a little bit more, to get all the 12 ornaments.
So one of the things you just mentioned, which we just wanted to emphasize, we haven't sold things in Gala for a while, have we?
No, we haven't.
So this is a new thing, and a lot of people, to your point about the credit cards and wanting to be able to, open your gacha immediately. Sometimes players don't quite know, credit card rules and all those things behind the scenes. So thanks for sharing that, and hopefully people can see that as we know we're selling it in town. We're trying to give another option for selling in Gala as well, just for people who want to purchase that way. And of course, we'll have credit card purchases in the future, but just in these kind of tricky situations, we've got to make sure we play by all the rules for all the different people involved.
Did we touch on the Christmas sugarcane stand as well?
No,
We
so
didn't.
yeah. So another sort of incentive to purchase a couple more packs is if you purchase 2 of each pack, the uncommon pack, the rare pack, and the epic pack, you will qualify to receive a free sugarcane stand. It's a Christmas theme stand. It works very similar to the stands that are already out there. But the idea is you purchase 2 of each pack and you qualify for a sugarcane stand, and you could do that up to 3 times. So if you want to purchase 3 or 6 of each pack, you will get 3 sugarcane stands. Mel, did you want to touch a little bit more on the utility for that? Because I know it's a very compelling item.
Yeah, so it's the uncommon or the lowest rarity of sugarcane stand, but that gives 2 passive sugarcane, just to be clear, which is very strong given the required amount of sugarcane to make sugar. So these are incredibly. That is why originally there's the simplex versions. Done a very long time ago just to address that. They were never sold or anything like that. So these are even rarer, in the sense of they will never be more than 300, as I understand the numbers work out. There couldn't be more than 300, and the likelihood of all of them being claimed is from the 222 is just highly unlikely, in my opinion. So they are extremely rare. They've got a unique art, the Christmas versions, so they've got completely unique art. They're extremely rare in that sense, but they are the same strength as in 2-1 on passive. They do require a road, but it's nice and exciting. They've got the little lights on them and stuff like that. So very nice, unique art-wise on them.
Sounds pretty cool, guys. And I want to thank the team for doing all the work. If you guys, players note, this is took a little bit extra lift by the Townstar live team to get this in place and working for everybody and getting it done in time for Thanksgiving for today's sale. So thanks everybody for doing that. Are there more questions on this in Discord? I want to make sure that we get them answered. I see a couple of them popping up. Michelle, what do you see?
Yes, I do see one question about the ornaments having individual utility. Like if somebody only bought one uncommon ornament pack and just got 4 random cards, will those individual cards still have a permanent utility, even if it's not the full set?
Yes, so I was just about to reply in Discord there, so typo when I'm swapping between. Yes, so individual cards carry their base utility. So I'll read some examples out, and maybe that'll be a little bit easier. I'll just get the details up. So Enchanted Ornament 1, for example, is in the global wage reduction utility group, and it carries an 8% global wage reduction. So if you owned only Enchanted Ornament 1, you would have 8% of global wage reduction reduced. And then if you were to get another one from that, say number 10, which is also in that group, then you would get 4%. So then you would now have 12% global wage reduction. They are the permanent base utility. It's only that stops once you get the 12 temporary. That's when all of those become supercharged then. But the base utility remains. If you don't get all 12, you get the base utility, and after January 31st, you'll all have the base utility as well.
I see another question asking about gas fees and how that will work with the packs. I imagine that you will have a gas fee to purchase the pack and then a gas fee to open the pack, and then you'll get all 4 of the ornaments. With the one gas fee, it's not a fee for each of the 4 ornaments within the pack.
No, it's 2 fees, one for the purchase, obviously it gets fulfilled on ETH, and then one for the redemption.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
There's a question in there about when will the sugarcane stands be awarded? So if somebody buys them, when do we send those out? So we buy enough to get one stand. When's that go out?
So that's a good question. Mal and I were debating how long we want to keep that promotion alive for. This is a Black Friday specific, but we want that to last for a week. We think that the epic ones may not be in stores for very long, and obviously the idea is you have to purchase 2 of every pack to qualify for that. So the initial thinking was to keep the epics only in store for a week, and so the eligibility for the sugar canes would actually leave after the first week, and that's the thinking we're going to go with. If something happens and we decide to change that, we'll notify the group, but or we'll notify the community. But as of right now, within the first week, your 2 of each purchases qualifies you for the sugar cane stand.
Okay, so that qualifies you. Do we have a date when we're actually going to send those stands out?
Yeah, it would have to be mid-December sometime. I don't have a
Okay.
specific date, but sooner rather than later for sure.
Okay, cool. Well, let's maybe next week we'll be able to share a date with everybody about that, or even just share it as soon as possible once we have that nailed down.
There's a question about are these stackable? No, so I just want to be clear on that one, that you can't get like 2 sets of 12 or 2 enchanted ornament ones. You can obviously own 2, but you will only get the utility granted from 1 set or per card that you own, just to be clear.
So will there be a limit to how many epic packs? Question right there in Discord from Kel.
Yeah, there's a total of 600 epic packs in store. Once all those are sold out, then nobody gets to qualify for the sugar cane. So if you want that, my recommendation would be to try to get that sooner rather than later.
Got it.
Is there a limit on the amount of sugarcane state store stands? That's the word I'm looking for. We've got so many NFTs. Sugarcane stands. Is there a limit? Like if you were to buy something absurd like 10 of each pack, would you get 10 sugarcane stands?
No. So the most one account could get is 3, and that would be based on purchasing 6 of each pack. So 2 of each, and you get 1 sugar stand. Another 2 of each, you get another sugar stand. And then for the final one, it's also 2 of each. So for the 4th set that you purchase, you're not going to get a sugar stand for that. So the most we could hand out for a single account is 3.
Good to note.
Yeah, I think I saw some people saying that they want to purchase like 20 of these just to get as many sugar stands as possible. That's not going to happen. The limit is 3 per account.
Okay. Let's see. Anything else on our agenda, Michelle?
Oh, that's all I have.
If you guys don't mind, I had a bit of a leaky leak. I know there's about 100 people listening to this. We have the sale at 1 o'clock. People may be purchasing a couple packs and possibly getting frustrated that 1 of 12 of the ornaments aren't visible in the inventory, no matter how many packs they purchase. Wanted to provide a little reassurance there that it's possible that you may be granted a goodie next week. That could be 1 of the 12 ornaments. I'm not gonna promise that, but for those listening.
Wait, say that again. So if somebody purchases packs and they're saying, wait, I only see 11 of these, where's the 12th one? missing 12th ornament. That's what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. So all I'm gonna say is
Interesting.
don't be too frustrated. Just be patient.
Oh.
And you might see a little prize in your inventory next week.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I think Dubstep has it correct. Good note. So kind of like maybe one might be free or something like that. I don't know. It's just a leak. You're not saying anything
I'm not
specific.
saying it, but if people want to assume that, they're welcome to assume.
Interesting way to phrase that, Top Boy. Interesting. Okay.
I wanted to share that reassurance right now because I know
Okay.
people are going to be purchasing quite a bit of packs at 1
Got
o'clock.
it.
So if they're getting
Okay.
frustrated, that's why.
Okay. It definitely helps shed some light on that curiosity that some people may start asking about. Okay. So before we break off, and thanks everybody for joining us today, any last sort of really burning questions from the community? Anything else in Twitter there, Atomic? Any new questions?
Nope,
Something else?
nothing from my side.
Okay. Do we let's see, anything else, Michelle and Mal, we're seeing inside of Discord? Something big burning? This is everybody's opportunity to jump in. Oh, let's see.
As a reminder, it'll be for the reward for the milk meta coming. Make sure everyone checks the pins or the announcements. Probably the announcements got the most detail in. Make sure everyone checks those. Things have changed for what's normally done for milk. So please, everyone, read the meta, and it's the ghost card that will be related to Barnes. And you're going to need Barnes, lots of Barnes. So enjoy knowing you'll have quicker Barnes.
Somebody, Tubbs, after the launch of Townstar Forever, what are your plans to recruit new players to the game? We got plans and ideas. When we have them, we'll share them. You'll actually probably see them as they roll out. But our goal is to make the game easily accessible, retain the essence that's made Townstar awesome, and then expand upon the design space. Lots more fun, lots more changes, lots more features. Since we have a new code base and a really strong and motivated team. Oh, it seems like we're kind of getting just like kind of rerun of some of the same questions. Any other notes from our team, Townstar team? Any other notes to share?
I don't have anything.
Is it for me?
Okay. Atomic, do you have anything? You have power?
Nope. No, I do not have power, so
Okay.
I don't have much. No.
Okay. Well,
To
cool.
answer
Well,
Anna's question, I was predicting around 1,000 milk an hour for users. 800 to 1,000 was my estimate. People would be doing for milk just because I was asked there. I didn't have an amazing 1,000 an hour milk bill to show off, but the prediction was around 800 to 1,000. So please, everyone, I like to see pictures of you beating what I predict. It always makes me happy. Please send them.
let's see. Let's do Mal talk about that. Great. There's some question about the number of ornaments. Maybe we can share that inside of Discord later, since that feels like a question people ask till the end of time. Locable utility for NFTs, same in Townstar Live and Forever. Yeah, we'll just cover that again because we always talk about it. When we move over to Townstar Forever, and we're looking at all NFTs, make sure going through each one of them, make sure that they support a healthy economy, make sure the utility makes sense, and we'll be porting them over. Now, once the game is up and running, if you keep your NFTs in ETH based instead of moving to Jury, you may see the Jury based versions of your NFTs getting new functionality, new utility, new opportunities for level up and buffs and those kind of things. So there will be a change, but the idea, we're working very hard to support the current NFTs that we have in the game already as we move to this new version and then expand upon it. So add to as much as we can. Okay, well, we call that a wrap for this week. Thanks everybody for joining us, especially people in the USA who have taken time. The Townstar team has taken time off their holiday, and other people, players who have just decided to spend their holiday time with us. And of course, the rest of the world, morning, afternoon, or evening. Appreciate everybody joining us today. And so we're going to call it a wrap on this one. Thank you. And we will see everybody next week. New information, new things to talk about, of course, and progress updates as always. So thanks, everybody. And thanks, everybody on stage, too, especially.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
care.
Bye, everyone.
See everybody next week. Thanks for joining us, everybody in the audience, and all the good questions.